will be a consequence to that. It will cause suffering. It doesn't matter if you're a president or you're the garbage collector, you're a mom, you're a grandma. It doesn't matter what your title or role or your life experience is as far as the roles that you're playing, like a part in a movie. The experiences are going to all be affected very similarly if you're not living with integrity, if you're not being authentic, and if you're not actually embodying your own power and being present. You are going to be on the path of suffering, period. If you go and you want to be a famous person, you want to have billions of dollars, and then you'll be enough, go for it. Go ask some of these people. Observe their lives. There are people who have gotten millions of dollars, people that have so much stuff, lots of people kissing their butt, miserable, not happy. And then there's people that are homeless. They're sitting on the street corners. They're pissed off. Screw you people. Don't give me any money. And I got to just sit here in the hot sun. Miserable people, not happy. The same common characteristics are happening in both of them. Some level, they've given up their power. They've given up their authentic truth. They're not living with integrity. And if they were, I promise you they'd be happy, because that is the essential core part of nirvana, is being present and being at ease with what is. We're not trying to race away from this moment. We are in this moment fully facing it. So if something comes to me, it may not be beautiful. My life is not perfect. I will tell you that. I love my life because I show up loving life. I choose that part. I choose to love life. I choose to love the hateful healers that are projecting on me. I still send love to them, but I will not cater to them. There's a difference. This is me mirroring to them healthy boundaries, which is probably something deep down they need to see. But if they can't see it, they're going to continue to do this with somebody else down the line, however many people they need to harass until they wake up to see, wow, maybe I could have listened to that first girl who told me, not going to happen. I'm not going to cater to you. If we can hear these messages, it's going to serve us powerfully. And we all have that ability. All of us together are from the same life force. We're from the same ocean of consciousness. And we all have the ability to show up in this moment and be present and be really connected and grounded in this moment and love ourselves fully. If I'm struggling with my income right now and I'm struggling in my marriage and everything seems uncertain, I can hate myself and go compare with the woman who has a really happy marriage and then treat her crappy because my life's crappy. Probably not going to help heal anything. It's going to create destruction. Or I could see that person's life that's happy and I could watch her. What is she figuring out? What is she doing differently? And how can I embody that kind of strength? And how can I invite that to my life? Maybe she really is comfortable with receiving love, so I make fun of her and think she's all that and queen bee. But maybe what really she's mirroring to me is that I have a need to accept love. Maybe I reject love, so now I have to reject someone who accepts love. Kind of see where I'm going with that? So this is where we have the ability to look in deeper to all of our life situations and kind of heal these deeper aspects of ourselves so that we can find peace. And when we're at peace and we're present, we are in the state of nirvana. We don't have to ascend in some way, meaning we, rise out of these bodies. I think that's a misconception of ascension, is that a lot of us think, if I'm ascending, that means I have to just completely reject my reality and I'm going to dissolve out of my body up into the light with the angels. And maybe that'll happen. That could be true. But what I feel ascension really is about, and nirvana is about, is being present. It is letting myself be so present that I don't get caught up in all the misalignment that's happening around me. I can observe it, but I can channel the consciousness of angels. I can channel the consciousness of source to find the solution, to find the love, even when all that's around me is a big shitstorm and there's hate and negativity and jealousy and corruption all around me. It could happen that I can stay the calm center of that storm and observe it, but stay very centered with my source and love my life and love my connection with source no matter what's happening out there. So I'm going to pause because I went on for a while. So any questions or comments, Amnon? Hmm?
Nope.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. So how about you? Do you have any comments on all that?
No, I think all I want to say is you go, girl.
Yeah, I definitely needed to say that, and I think you could even sense that, couldn't you, for a couple shows? I'm curious.
I mean, I know what's going on, so what am I trying to say? It's you're doing a great thing by doing what you're doing, and most people would not know how to do this.
Thank you.
It's not easy. It's not easy at all because you always want to lash back.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I think that's the conditioning, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of expected. It's interesting you say that because one of these people that I'm referencing really has been sending me hateful texts and things, and to where I'm just like, please stop texting me. But I sent her loving text back and just said, I really send you love and I wish you the best. And I am sorry you're hurting, but I really do not need to have this sent to me. So I really would appreciate if you'd stop sending these texts to me. But even then, like, you know, when I went through my divorce, that happened where I really went through that in a deep way where hateful words were exchanged. And I was just like, geez, like, what are you saying? Why are you called? Like, I was called a prostitute, a whore. I'm like, wow, suddenly I'm a whore. That's interesting. And so these words can be very hurtful. And it feels like, to an empath, I can feel the energy of them. But to have the wisdom to shake off the arrows and shake them off and not throw them back, but just drop them and just send love back,
right,
and move away from their energy. Because clearly, if someone's sending out toxic, hateful energy, they're really off and they're at war with themselves. That's what's really going on. If I'm at war with myself, I'm going to freaking throw it around me. But we have to be mindful to get away from the shrapnel, but not throw it back at them because they're already suffering. They don't need us to like shame them and hate them. They need us to send love to them, but also speak truth to them. And that's the balance. Like, I feel like a lot of us maybe are good at just avoiding it and get away from them, but then go talk trash about them later.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe we're good at speaking truth to them, but we want to stay in there and fight with them until they get it. And I really think that there's a balance of speaking that truth and then, you know, stepping away from them. Let them find their healthy space. Like, if you've ever been around an animal fight, like when dogs fight, have you personally, Amnon? Have you ever seen cats fighting or?
Yeah, you hear them. No, I never seen them. We never had cats, so no.
Well, I've witnessed it. And so, like, as a human, if you're seeing a fight, one thing they tell you is never get in the fight and, like, try to break it up.
Right.
Because those animals will turn on you.
Yeah.
And so that's the way I see it with humans. If a human is flaring and they're foaming at the mouth and they're spewing hatred, the wisdom in me says step away. Let them find their calm space. And it might be in an hour or it might be in a year or a lifetime. That's up to that soul, because some people will harbor hate for a lifetime and some will quickly have awareness come in and realize, oh God, what have I done?
Yep.
And the key is to, when you get that, oh God, what have I done? To really forgive yourself, but right then go and rectify things. Like, go and say you're sorry to that person that you were hateful for. Go and apologize. But this is the big drama, I think, in our human consciousness, is that everyone's so freaking prideful that, you know, grandma's sitting over there like, back in 1920, that woman did me wrong. And so they sit there angry for a lifetime about some bullshit that happened in 1920. And honestly, I'm sure it was really important back then. But the point I'm making is there's a point where if you know at some level you were participating and you were hurtful, you lied to people, you created, you had no integrity and you caused harm, rather than have shame and feel bad about what you did to the point that you just keep doing it because you have to dig your heels in now you have to convince yourself they're the enemy and they're evil. It's so much more empowering to go, wow, what have I done? Like, I've totally caused harm to people that were loving to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I could say I'm sorry and I could make things right. That takes courage. Or I could just go and continue to say how evil they are and slander their name. That's pretty easy, and that doesn't take any courage at all. That's what a lot of fear and weakness would choose.
Right.
Make sense?
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's not what I'm about. And that's why I feel like I have to speak this. And I know a lot of souls, like last night in the workshop, they were like, thank you, Tanya, so much for saying this, because they were like, how do I handle that? Because that happens in my life. It's amazing how many of these women have had bullying situations happen to them. And I'm sure like men go through it as well. Like maybe at work, someone's bullying them or heckling them. And it's just ridiculous. I don't understand why we would want to continue that, because it's so hateful. And when we get upset when children are bullying other children, I can promise you that they're learning that from somebody, and it's probably the adults in their life. So we got to shift that.
That's exactly
so I was going to read a card before we end. Is that okay?
Yep.
Okay. So here's what it looks like. I don't know if you can see it very good. It's kind of a glare.
Tilt it.
Tilt it. Maybe if I'm not so close.
Yeah, like that. Tilt more. Yeah, tilt more. Okay, that's good.
Boom, there it is. Okay, it's called Hear the Yellow Tiger Mother, and it's from my Kuan Yin deck. Sometimes we must be strong and hold true whilst all around us seems to be shifting and changing. Is that not the perfect card for today? I drew this card and I'm like, holy shit, that is confirmation that I'm supposed to speak truth about that. So thank you. So the yellow tiger mother, Kuan Yin, in her guardian role, is roaring her divine sound within you. Oh, indeed she is. She asks you to hear her, to remember that you are a powerful being of light, and even whilst you are in flow with universal forces, your strong roots help you to be at peace with your truth, standing your ground whilst your light shines true. And that's like what I'm mirroring to all of you today, is that, yeah, it takes courage. I'm up here on an internet show where this could go to whoever, and I'm not afraid of it because I'm in my truth. If I was afraid, I would go and cower and hide because I don't want you guys to think maybe Tanya has some tension in her life. I'm a human being as well, and tension comes in my life. What I hope to do is show you how you can handle it. That's what I want to be a leader of, is that light, and that we have the ability to shine brighter when darkness comes. We don't have to retreat and dim our light. I feel like that's what we have to heal. So many of us are taught to dim our light around insecure beings who would like to take from our light, and that is not going to help this planet anymore. We have to shine brighter and have the courage to speak back to these beings so that more, disasters don't happen on the planet. Like when I think of like what happened with the Holocaust, that is a lot of people ignoring stuff. Like there is no way that could go down without a lot of people dimming their light and ignoring their power. Think about that. And I have no intention to create that again on this planet. So no matter what's going on, we each have the ability to speak truth right away, or to just kind of hold it back and let that darkness intimidate us and let it cause us fear so that we start forgetting who we are. That's not the best idea. In our surrender to divine forces, there are times when we must be flexible and flow, and then there are times when the surrender is into holding strong and being true to our inner knowing. There is inner truths that we know are worthy of the effort to grow strong enough to honor them in our lives, no matter how we must honor them. These are the truths of kindness, compassion, and the right of each individual being to be spiritually free, loved, and more. The yellow tiger mother sounds her roaring note within you. She is a fierce, protective tigress, and yellow is her golden strength and wisdom. And when I think of this card, I really channel Archangel Ariel a lot. And Archangel Ariel also shows up as a golden energy, and she is all about like roar, the lioness of God. She's here to speak truth. So I feel like this tiger, yellow tiger mother and Archangel Ariel, same energy, same vibration. She urges you to listen for her sound within and trust yourself. You know when you need to stand your ground and not be swayed. Like I just showed you. I felt that today and I honored it. I felt how much that needed to happen. You are more powerful, strong, and courageous than you may realize. Your strength is not stubbornness or resistance. It is in holding firm to what you feel in your heart to be true, and in time, you will come